Night Attack is brought to you by all of our lovely patrons over at patreon.com/nightattack. Subscribe early to get the pre-show and the after show. We had a great pre-show today, but the after show is going to be good too. Also, thank you to Doghouse Systems for powering this show, and we're doing it with their great computers. Get yourself a free SSD when you get a computer at Doghouse by going to doghousesystems.com/v/rogue and use promo code rogue at checkout, and you'll get that free SSD. Here's what happened last time on Night Attack, episode 325, thanks to our friend ICU. Wait, what is this?
30th,
I clicked
2018 YouTuber
no,
Jeremy.
I
What
clicked
is
the wrong
happening? Okay. Wow. How do we go from that to the jerk off motion? It's fine. It's fine.
Also, how big a vulva would you call it? A vulva? If you can stick yourself?
Those naughty boys who were running for president.
Mrs. Butterworth, tell me, what's the secret of your syrup recipe?
Tree sap that you eat. Maple syrup.
It's getting too good. I don't like it. I don't like it. He's holding up too sharp, too precise of a mirror right to my dumb, stupid face. Hello, beautiful people. It's Brian Rushford live in Austin, Texas. Joined as always by my BFF and OAK. It's JRY, Justin Robert Young. We also got Bonnie, the Invisible Wife, and Bryce Castillo. Oh my God. Getting a bit uncomfy in here.
No, those are amazing. I've never wanted anything more in my life than what ICU is doing now. I know he's a wrestling fan, so I'm assuming that he's using those transitions specifically because there's... all right, it bore the world to explain it, but I'm glad he's using the Botchamania transitions because we now have our own version of that for our show, and it's fucking amazing, and I love it.
Speaking of which, on Twitter, there's a bit of chit-chat going around. Bonnie decided to bring up the fact that one of my favorite things is to say, on my way out of any room, Alexa, play Baby Shark, and then close the door and run away. Somebody on Twitter responded with, please tell me it's playing right there in your apartment. Maybe... he said that he uses his Amazon Echo to sort of play a theme song shortly before getting home. So it's like a wrestling intro.
Oh.
And so as a test, I played Baby Shark in the living room, and I got 3 texts from everybody in the family saying, not cool, what's happening? And I was just like, let me just file that away. And then sure enough, definitely... here at the HQ, my 12-year-old started playing it. But
Oh, wait.
I love the idea of like an intro theme before I come home.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I could list a dozen
Dan
wrestling
33
themes.
in the chat says it actually worked. That's amazing.
Oh my God, I would love to have the John Cena theme just play whenever I was coming in, just to know. Yeah, because it begins in this very ostentatious, like it's a perfect wrestling theme because it has like the moment where you know a thing's happening, and then it's got a build, and then it's got a moment that everybody screams. So there's just like it's perfect. You know exactly when to kick in the door and have it like hit too hard against the wall so it leaves a dent. Like you just know on the brapado, foot to the fucking door.
Yeah, so be on the lookout for that, Bonnie.
Oh,
just saying.
Oh dear. Okay.
So we have a bit boss, Jordan DeMoss.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else that rhymes with those two. But Bryce said we got a gift from Jordan DeMoss.
God dang
and it's like, and I'm like, we did? And you're like, yeah, it's in the front porch. And then I run out and I'm like,
No.
Well, and I saw it, and because sometimes packages get here, and you were just telling me that you were out doing your headspace, and so I know that I looked at it, and I know that I saw the name, and I thought, oh, okay, there's a thing here, and Brian hasn't seen it yet. Maybe he'll open it.
Yes. No, that's my second piggy to go out to Jordan because he very.
oh, that's right. The first one broke.
The first one's a little ear chip, so
Yeah.
I'm super sad. But we're getting another one out the door, so it's waiting. It's double boxed. It's like a proper art shipment. Although I created the first one and it looked so badass. It was such a cute arrangement, but I'll have to
hear that,
rethink
Jordan?
it.
The second one's gonna be hot garbage.
It
compared
is
to
gonna
the
Total
first one.
shit.
Yeah.
Total
It
shit.
is. It
She
is.
compromised. She compromised beauty for safety.
I
What have you done?
know.
The next one looks like an inflatable vest to be worn upon impact.
It really does. But at least it should arrive safely this time. So
Man, dude. So, what else we got, Justin?
Oh, dude. This is one of those moments where we realize that we already do fucking like 17 hours of content before we do the show that spawned the other 16 hours of content.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's crazy. It's crazy.
You know
out
what?
Here.
That's why I proposed for segment 1, we do a little thing that I just invented called Bryce Corner Hour. It's an hour of it. Bryce, what are you up to?
Bryce, yeah, what do you want to talk about?
Do you want to talk about OMG Chad's trophy that we sent him?
No, we did that in the pre-show.
Oh, we did that. in the
Come up with
pre-show.
something.
Yeah, sorry.
Come up with something new.
Do you want to talk
Bryce.
about why you hate devs?
Well,
Yeah, you hate devs.
Yeah,
you
why
think
do you
devs
hate
suck
devs?
shit.
well,
You say, hey, fuck devs. Fuck it. Fuck
Yeah,
it
that
right
was
in
a
its
really
face.
weird
That's
way
a
for you to
Bryce
say
quote.
hello today. And in fact, you rang the doorbell and then
Yeah.
you knocked and I was like, who is it? And you said, it's Domino's Pizza or
Yeah.
Papa John's, one or the other. And I opened the door and you said, fuck devs.
Fuck devs. But also his dick was through a hole in a pizza too.
That's a
how
different
much
franchise that I'm going to
Yeah.
pretend I'm totally
No, but
unfamiliar
that's how
with.
much Brian, that's how much he fucking hates devs. Like who knows how his dick got through that pizza?
Man. So anyway,
Devs
why
hate,
do
that's
you
how.
hate devs, Bryce?
I feel
Listen,
like we've
when
even
God-
talked
Devs
about
hating
this on the
Castillo.
show before.
When God closes a door, Bryce hates a devs.
You were saying you would rather see cancer remain and devs
Yeah.
be gone. Like you were
Yes.
given a choice.
That's right.
You had to
That
pick
was
between
actually
cancer and
that was a
devs.
quote,
And it wasn't
now it's
hypothetical.
gonna be a
Yeah.
statue. No,
It
yeah.
wasn't. Bill Gates, my friend Bill, emailed me and said I could do
Dude,
one
he's
or
like,
the
"Hey,
other.
I've got the technology to eliminate one or the other. And
Yeah.
then it's like you responded saying, I'm insulted. You even had to ask.
Yeah. All right. So
XOXO,
true or false?
Bryce, devs
True-
hating Castillo.
True or false? In January, you were talking to your friend Bill Gates, and he was like, "You're gonna love this show, devs." And you were like, "All right, you want to make a bet?" And he's like, "Sure. If you don't fucking love devs, I will microchip humanity."
God damn it.
And you know
True
what?
or false? True or false?
That's true. Okay, technically it's true.
Yeah.
Technically it's
Okay.
true, but he's not done doing it yet, so
No, he's in the
he's
process.
still working on that one.
Yeah. All right. So, Bryce, for real though, why do you hate devs?
The weird part is he doesn't hate it artistically.
No.
It's because he hates how much love is expressed in it.
Exactly.
And he told me
He
this.
has a cold heart.
He's embarrassed. He won't say it on camera, but he said,
No.
Brian, I hate how much optimism and joy and love there is in this show. And I just wish that everybody died.
Yeah, that's a thing that Bryce is known for.
And
Wishing death.
and I'm
In
shy
fact,
about
and
it.
to be honest,
Very shy.
he explained.
I'm
He's
Oh,
like, to be honest, I'm
coquettish,
embarrassed to say
coquettish.
this. I thought the show was called Deads. I didn't
Yeah.
realize. I heard it
I wouldn't
mispronounced.
have even turned it on, but I thought it was Dead's.
Yeah, and I did make that mistake. And then I turned it on. I said, not enough people have died.
What are you doing?
Now, granted,
Developing
they made a
death?
noble effort to kill a lot
tried.
of people.
They
before
really
it
tried.
ended.
But not enough. Not nearly. You know, I'm kind of a Game of Thrones head. But
All right, you don't need to talk about devs. What else do you want to talk about?
I finished The Sopranos. You guys, you know, I know Justin finished, had seen it, but
That's,
Brian.
uh,
Wait,
never
how
had.
far? How far have you gotten in? Have you never touched an envelope? An episode?
I've never touched an envelope. And
Like,
Never
my-
touched
like
it's
collections,
my
the
dying
envelope.
wish.
He was never
Yeah.
given the envelope.
Exactly.
Those
And the
points on.
winner for never seeing a Sopranos episode is. La La Land.
La La Land.
Remember that? Remember that kerfuffle?
That was fun. You remember Pharrell's big
Yeah.
hat too?
Oh shit, that guy's hat was so fucking
It was
big.
so big. Made Arby's
Did
look like a
Arby's
small.
buy it, or was that? Yeah, did they really buy it, or was that just a thing?
I don't know. I bet they probably did. You know, they love social media. Arby's
They
does.
fucking love it. These Arby's guys. All
Them
right.
and
Anyway,
Golden
so
Palace.
yeah, the Sopranos. Did it really get you gabagool, or did it leave you guma wanting?
Hey, also, like, what happened at the end?
So I mean, we can have a real conversation about it. I think it's very weird that Tony Soprano grew
have passed
wings.
the statute of limitations where we can have an actual conversation. Also, I'm never going to watch the show. I saw 1 or 2 episodes. That was enough for me.
Justin, what did you think about the ending? Because it's intentionally ambiguous whether.
I actually liked the ending. The ending itself, like once you get past the point that it suffered from the fact that it was the first big prestige drama that ended, and they decided to end with a little ambiguity. I think if you do that exact ending today, people are like, "Oh, what an artistic statement it was," because we've just seen so much of it. I think the problem with The Sopranos was that we didn't know whether or not we were gonna get that ever again, right? People were just like, that just could have been the one good television show that happened, and then we just go back to television being this kind of less than art form.
Now, Bryce, did you already know about the? I'm going to use air quotes as I say notorious ending. Like there were people who were either satisfied or not satisfied with it.
Oh yeah. I mean, I had seen the scene multiple times to the point where once I actually saw it last night, I had completely remembered it wrong. I had remembered a lot of things wrong about it.
Last night was when you wrapped everything up?
Yeah, and it was late, and it took me about 4 hours to watch it because I kept falling asleep.
And you
'cause it was
still
really late.
had the mental real estate to walk in and have your first words be, fuck devs, am I
Fuck
right?
devs.
It's me, Bryce
Fuck
Castillo,
devs.
hater of
Fuck
devs.
By the way, do you have any napkins? Because my dick's filled with pizza now.
Okay, so I don't love that one.
Did you say filled?
Yeah.
That's
It's kind of.
Yeah.
That's
That's
kind
the
It
of.
was in a deep dish. I didn't mention it was a deep dish.
What other kind of
Deep
dish
dicks.
would it be?
Deep dicks. That's what it was. All right.
That's why he made the novelty board or the novelty pizza box. Like just
So long as it wasn't the Hawaiian with all that pineapple on there.
Well, and all that citrus on my.
Yeah, the citrus.
yeah,
Ooh.
Yeah, no, have the pineapple beforehand. It makes it sweeter.
It does. Well, okay, so that's just not.
What about that grapefruit fruit thing, though? Don't you think that would be
Oh,
like
yeah.
really
What's that?
the grapefruit?
the grapefruit trick.
Oh shit! Sorry, wrong
Yeah.
frame of mind. Now I'm sad to report I'm caught
so,
up.
Bryce, what I had always assumed with that finale was the point is that he is always in danger.
Yeah.
And the fact that the family is having a sweet moment and that things have subsided. That's the
definitely.
perfect moment
so
to
whether or
remind
not that was
everybody.
an actual hit at that moment, that is
It doesn't
now
matter.
the
Doesn't
remainder of his life is that moment
And
is
has been.
perpetually can be at any moment.
like that we just lived through this period, and yes, every time you felt he was close, you should have. Every time you felt relief that he survived, you should have. And right now, this is here to remind you that the life he has chosen, because people took it as them letting him off, right? But I thought it was like, no, it is. This is the last image we see is this sword of Damocles hanging over him. Then that is the punishment for the life he's lived.
Absolutely, right? Like, I mean, that episode, takes, he's going out and eating, right after what is
Human
essentially
bodies.
He's eating
He's
human
a
bodies.
cannibal, which is a weird twist.
And he's going out with his family because this whole manhunt thing is quote unquote resolved. So
Yeah.
it's not crazy to think like, yes, she should be okay now, but yeah, it's symbolic of how much danger he's in. But the other thing is, especially with the last season, is like a big theme is unexplained or unjustified ends to relationships and to life. Like when his therapist just says, "I'm not treating you anymore," and doesn't tell him why, and doesn't tell him all these things that she's reading and thinking, like to him, that's just also out of the blue. He didn't hear it coming. And so there maybe you can like that I don't know, that A-B side of it is, I think, what makes it a thing that we're still talking about.
One thing I want to jump in the chat here on. Conscious B says The Wire doesn't have this problem. Homie.
Not a problem.
That final season, I am a journalism major who worked in newspapers. That was a season made for me, and I found it boring and fucking convoluted.
You're crazy. Okay.
The final season of The Wire, the newspaper season of The Wire?
Yeah, no. Yeah, the one where McNulty, the ostensibly the hero of the show, the protagonist, decides to manufacture a serial killer for the purpose of opening up the money faucet of bureaucracy. That was not interesting enough to you?
It was a little outside of where I had
You're
known
right.
the
It was
McNulty
too
character.
wacky compared to when the retiring chief of police decides to make a Burning Man in the middle of
He wasn't the chief of police. That was my favorite season. The Amsterdam season was great, but the Amsterdam season was great because it was its own little story. This was like, it just felt like, because they had written McNulty off for the previous season, you know? And so this just felt like, we got to have a big McNulty thing. And we got what we got. Anyway, whatever. I'm just saying that season 6 of The Wire is thought to be lesser than all of the rest of them for a reason. Or is it 5?
Yeah.
Oh, 4 was the kids season.
Yeah. 4 was the education. Yeah. 3 was Amsterdam, 4 was schools, 5 was the half season about how easily manipulated the media is. And yet, strangely, they failed to manipulate the media into getting them a season 6.
And that's the they didn't cross the wire to get renewed. Okay.
So wait, hold on. Bryce, I only have one question for you with The Sopranos, then we can move on. Where were you on the coma shit?
There was a lot of it.
Wow, wasn't there?
There was a lot of
At a certain point, weren't you like,
just let's wake up? Come on, because it's not like he was. I think part of it is that by binging it, you kind of don't need the constant reminders of here are all of Tony's problems and all of his subconscious things. So I think there was a lot of it. It was fine. You can speed through that stuff.
Here's all you need to know. In the latter seasons, and this was kind of compounded because I was watching it live, and you know that the creator, David Chase, is like kind of chafing at the fact that he's still doing Sopranos, and he would kind of like to do other stuff, and he'd like to do movies, and there's like this whole wide world that he wants to get into. And then in the final season of this signature show, the cast just finds a reason by way of a coma to all play different characters. And so he just kind of gets to do another movie that's way less interesting than all the stuff that you've already come to want to watch The Sopranos for, where now for like 3 episodes, a full 75% of like 3 episodes are just like, you're just watching this other story that only matters because it's happening in his coma head.
That's definitely what caused me to tap out on Legion. Legion's season 1, best comic book related anything ever, best ever. And then it's like, hey, these guys, expensive. What if they swap bodies and all of a sudden cheaper people played everyone? Anyway, we're continuing to do Legion. Where are you going? Where are you going? I'm sorry, I was just playing acoustic guitar.
Look, Legion, I will not cape up for Legion not falling up its own butt, as Bill Meeks very succinctly puts it. But it's never not interesting to watch. Where in a way where I was not interested in James Gandolfini playing not Tony Soprano as he eats a bagel or whatever dumb shit they had him doing in those episodes.
Oh, I'm James Gandolfini. I'm not even doing the accent. Who am I?
You're Bryce. I don't understand. What is this? What's happening?
What do I think about devs?
How many seasons?
Yeah, I fucking hate devs. My name is Bryce
You got
Castillo.
1 million subscribers. We're all proud of you. I don't understand.
How many seasons is the right amount of seasons. Like, I mean, it seems like how many was Lost?
I mean,
like if they
if
ended
you ask
Lost,
Bryce, when it comes to devs, the answer is one,
One.
and that's too many. Although, actually, I do love the fact that they did very clearly only one season, and I thought it was very good.
Yeah, and they sold it as a mini
Miniseries, yeah,
Now,
yeah.
we hadn't
Self-contained
finished-
story.
I hadn't finished The Good Place yet. We've been working our way through it, but
You
I
think
mean,
it's too
I
long?
really respected that they're like, we know you guys like us, but we're gonna end it here. Like,
Man.
I really like that.
Good Place was a weird one because, like, yes to that moment, but then you don't have to telegraph how checked out you are on the last season. like I would have rather they said, "Hey, we could bother to show up for one more season." Or we could just say, that's it.
Well,
and
and-
do one special or whatever.
You know, it doesn't hurt that the ratings kept going down for a semi-serialized kind of comedy show on NBC. You know, like,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's brave to go out on season 4. Maybe it's just smart.
I would say if you were probably, and this is my gut reaction, but I think if you were to take a look at like the Metacritic scores, the best place to end is season 3. There are many instances of 3 super fucking strong seasons that you should always end your third on a thing that could end the series.
I just used my science machine. I applied your theory to Avatar: The Last Airbender, and you are correct. 3.
There we go.
3 is the right number of seasons.
Avatar.
Yeah.
How many seasons?
I
did
see
they have?
you,
They only
Jake
had 3
Sully.
seasons? I thought
Yeah.
they had 4 because there's 4 elements.
3.
Oh,
Wait, am I wrong? Oh man, I hope I'm not wrong.
I think
I
there's
think it's
4.
just Earth, whatever.
I think there's 4.
Earth girls are easy.
Sorry, I just signed in, and apparently the answer is Firefly. 1 season. Just have 1 season in a movie. That's all you need. That's it.
Avatar: The Last Airbender was 3 seasons.
Told you. Also, hold
Ba-
on. My
ba-
machine
ba-
says
ba-
I'm
ba-
right.
ba-
There we go.
ba-
Thank
Maybe
goodness.
you're thinking of Korra. Korra had 4 seasons.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's my thought too, is that it feels like you can get a lot of story told in that. And, you know, you still have your cast interested. You have everybody still interested and engaged and really moving things forward with 3 seasons. And you can tell a really good story in 3 seasons. Now, if you end it and need to tell another story, like we see with Better Call Saul,
Yes.
I guess. I don't.
Yes.
That might be going on too long.
That's what everybody was wondering.
By the way, the Lenina says Breaking Bad had 5, and I loved Breaking Bad. I think Breaking Bad's 5 seasons are very, 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 very strong.
Mm-hmm. That's
Also,
true.
They killed their best villain at the end of season 3, and
That's true.
Wait,
they have kind of a villain issue.
Spoiler talk. Which villain are we talking about?
the best villain in Breaking. If I say the best villain in Breaking Bad, who am I talking about?
Shit, he died in season 3?
Can't believe that.
Didn't he? Or was it season 4?
I think
thought
it's
it was later.
4.
I know it involved terrible CG. Like, that's all I remember.
No, the CG
It
was
was-
great.
It was fucking Terminator. It was awful.
Yes, no, it was great. It
Jesus.
was it was
Oh, is it
horrific.
four?
They turned to the camera and said,
Oh,
give
okay.
me your
All right,
clothes,
all right.
your
My
shoes,
mistake.
your
My
motorcycle.
mistake.
It was the end of season 4.
Okay,
It was
okay,
season 4, not
Okay.
season 3. All right.
Yeah.
Then my stand corrected.
Okay.
But also,
That
You
not
should-
Once
having
you
him
kill
there.
your best villain, little hard to keep on going.
Yeah.
I'm just saying they had to microwave Nazis. It should have just been. It should have literally just been what's his butt who created the show, literally putting a tiny Hitler figurine in a microwave, and then he opens it after 30 seconds, and a bunch of bikers walk out, and he's like, "Fuck, they're gonna have to do."
Hey man, if you want villains to win, support us over at patreon.com/nightattack.
Salesman of the year. everyone.
Question
Yeah.
mark.
Gosh.
Patreon.com/Night Attack. Guys, I don't know if you've noticed this, but Brian and I have been working hard for you.
Just a little bit harder than previously.
We're doing 5 extra hours of content for you guys. And by the way, here's how dumb we are. We didn't just do it live for free for everybody and then put it behind the Patreon wall. We just put it out on the feed. We just love you. We're just giving
we
you
had this
a
nutty
gigantic
idea.
fire hose.
We had this nutty idea that if we just gave away oranges, more people would buy oranges. So every day we show up at 4 o'clock and we say, who wants free oranges? Also, come back 3 hours later because once a week we'll sell oranges.
And by the way, we're booking more guests for that than we have on this show.
What are we doing, Justin?
We're doing all right. Honestly, we're gonna need some more patrons. Like if you like this and you've enjoyed it, I get it. Whatever. We've been nice in the past, but I know that there's a fucking Great Depression happening. Give me money. Give me money. Give Brian money. Give Bryce money. Give Bonnie money. Just give us fucking money.
Look, I've seen season 3 of The Wire. I understand that there's a little give and take, and we have to all meet in the middle. And that's why we've decided that anybody who is a new pledger or somebody who ups their pledge gets their chance to randomly be called out in a little segment right here on the show we like to call...
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Night Attack new Patreon name chant corner hour.
It's an hour of it.
Special thanks goes out to our friend Free Oranges. Nope, sorry. It's a new pledger. His name is James Doyle. James Doyle. Oh, I hope your grandfather was Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
James Doyle, 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 James Doyle,
Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Merely an enemy of skepticism.
Doyle.
And of course, we tell one completely factual, true story that definitely happened this week. And it might sound like some of the parts of the story happen to correspond with some of the names of the people who are pledging and giving bits over at twitch.tv/nightattack. I tell you, it's not true, man. I was there in the theater monkey when Bob Callie walked in. You know what he said, Justin?
You were in a theater monkey? Like you penetrated it?
Yeah, no, it's a monkey that had a 4-wall black box theater attached to its butt, and I was in it, and Bob Callie walked in.
Okay. All
Yes.
right. So you were performing? Did you rent it?
I was just hanging out. I don't understand why you're so critical. I mean, you've been to a theater, right?
I think we're ex.
I was trying to tee you up to maybe say things.
I don't know why you would do that. I mean, I was just hanging out
Franklin
in the theater,
was
for Christ's sake.
watching, and
I don't remember
Curtis
cross-examining
LaRock
you
was
for where you
just
hang out.
stunned,
I was just
sitting in the front row.
God, maybe I fundamentally misunderstood our
Insert
relationship.
Yeah.
scoop name here.
Wait, hold on.
Weird.
This monkey had a theater on his butt, like a full 100-seat theater on his
Now that I
butt.
think about that, that is a
Joey
weird thing.
wants to say, would you guys just stop and take the
Anyway,
reject
thank you to everybody who contributes over at
69-187?
twitch.tv/nightattack. You guys are great.
This is great. People love this. This is a distinct proposition
Yeah.
that people can understand and take advantage of.
Exactly. You know, we swear to you that we're going to tell a full story. Justin unnecessarily questions Brian's flimsy story. Brian immediately abandons the premise, and Bonnie just listlessly yells names that she sees goes across the screen.
At the expense of literally one of the most important money-making parts of the show. You forgot, you left out that part.
I'm lucky I can just see the names. It's hard for me to make
Yeah,
it
Bonnie's
out, although-
the worst person to do this too. She can't see the
she only
screen.
has fucking one eye.
One eye is all the way. I wore my glasses just in case.
Oh. Hey,
And
Bryce, you got a game for us?
I do. This is a bit of a bit here. I was kind
I'm
of
so glad, babe. Time out. Justin, I'm so glad that you found that remotely funny. Because, no, sorry. Bryce, you were saying.
Let's go.
so I was inspired a little bit last week. I was listening to a podcast or something, and I decided I reached out to the community, and then with the help of some of the people in Discord, we have got something special for you today, folks. It's the Monster Match.
Oh,
May 2020 edition, the East Ghost v West Ghost Beef Burrito.
Man. All right. Can we pause and do a metagame? Bonnie,
Yeah.
I know what this is all a reference to.
Oh, yeah.
Justin knows what this is a reference to. What do you think it's a reference to? May I remind you about the part where I already know what it's a reference to, and I totally get all of this. And I'm only...
I don't know. It seemed like there was like a bit we had one time with like the Monster Mash party when everybody got all wacky up and each other's bits.
I mean, first of all, a bunch of monsters fucking each other does sound like something we would definitely do. Is
Yeah.
that, Bryce, is that what we're referencing?
We're not referencing
That's
the
our-
monster fuck.
Oh, no, sorry.
What?
Yeah.
Someone
Yeah.
else's bit.
That was the song that's definitely not original to our podcast. In fact, it's a much more famous podcast that makes that a recurring bit. We're not referencing that song.
Oh,
Or at least
okay.
We're not.
because I definitely know what this bit is a reference to.
As do
Oh.
I. I totally
Yeah.
know. But
Sure.
Bryce, just for the listeners,
Sure.
in case they don't already know, please state the obvious thing that all of us know, including Bonnie.
Obviously, this is the Monster Match.
Yeah.
We've called together 16 of some of the greatest monsters around, and you're going to determine via voting who is the greatest monster in the Monster
Oh, shit.
Match.
Are we doing like a Final Four thing?
We're doing a
Yeah.
tourney. We got 16 monsters across 2 hemispheres, so we got an East Ghost and a West Ghost League, and we will see who roars supreme.
This is
Is
amazing.
it the Bloods and the Crips or is it?
Yes.
Well,
Wow.
so we do have a
Depending on how you divide up Earth, you could theoretically divide it right down Oklahoma.
Down-
Walk us in.
Sure. So we've got 16 monsters here. We got 8 matchups. We'll start off with the East Ghost, and then we'll go do the West Ghost in the second half. And we're going to give you about 2. We're going to talk them through. And Brian, Justin, and Bonnie, you are going to determine who wins each matchup. And then
So
for the
we
final,
all win.
We all
We're
win.
all the winners.
it's not really a game; it's a bit.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So our first matchup.
That's just because I won last time.
We broke the games. We stopped competing.
The first matchup we have is the number 1 seed Godzilla versus the number 16 seed Drop Bears. A little
What?
bit about our
Drop Bears?
Drop
Is this
Bears.
the part where I have to confess that I don't know what a drop bear is?
Well, we've got
Here we go.
We've got plenty of
He's
information.
got a thing.
Yeah.
So Godzilla, of course, is the giant radioactive prehistoric amphibious sea monster / kaiju.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, living metaphor for the horrors of nuclear testing. Yeah.
That's right. And it ranges from 50 to 300 meters, depending on when and where it was filmed.
Yep.
It has an atomic heat beam. It can blast pure atomic energy. It's destroyed many cities many times. So that's Godzilla. And the drop bear,
Oh,
otherwise known as the Thylarctos plummetus, it is a predatory meat-eating cousin of the koala. Resides in treetops, attacking unsuspecting prey from above. It is said to target humans without an Australian accent, mate.
Justin, Bonnie.
Yeah.
May I make a proposal that we judge this one entirely based on the sound they make? So if Bryce can find us the sound of a drop bear, let us evaluate it as to who is the greater.
Yeah.
We're looking for like the most.
We're
the
looking
worstest,
for
right?
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
say in a 1v1 battle, who would win?
Yeah.
I think that, look, although a drop bear is certainly something that would be terrifying, you're talking about how great a New York pizza is because you were born in Brooklyn and you ain't never been out to this crazy island, and you're talking to your other friend who's from London and he's sipping a gin and tonic, and next thing you know, drop bear, boom. on your friend's neck. He's like, I went to Oxford, and blood spilling everywhere. And you're like, Barafangu, this thing, the drop bear. Oh, and you're slapping it. And next thing you know, you're both dead. That's terrifying, but Godzilla could step on you.
Yeah, but also, if Bryce couldn't find the sound effect for a drop bear, how good do you think he would be at like making the sound a drop bear makes?
Oh, great. I think he'd be great.
Oh, I did find a recording of it here. Let me
Ah.
click.
Wow.
Click. Wow.
You know what's funny?
Wow.
Justin, I was on your team. I was on Team Godzilla until about 4 seconds ago.
Oh my goodness.
Until I heard that
Wow.
cough and the click.
Oh my
Kinda-
god.
Kind of sounded like an outtake from when they were recording Stitch vocals.
So
Bonnie, where you at?
we're looking for some votes here.
I don't know. I mean,
Godzilla versus drop bears. You're the
apparently
deciding vote here,
Godzilla
Bonnie.
is not that freaky because Brian took our 8-year-old Josie to it.
You
at
know what?
one
You're right.
point.
My 8-year-old would vote for Godzilla, so I changed my vote to Godzilla.
All right, there we go.
There we go. Congratulations.
Godzilla advances. Sorry, drop bears.
Here we go.
Sorry,
Gods-
drop bears.
Good answer.
Good answer. Good answer. All right.
He's a smoker.
Our second lineup, the number 8 seed is a Typhon versus the number 9 seed, a werewolf.
I know what one of those are.
Which-
Let's
Which
find
one is
out.
it?
Let's find out.
Okay, so we've got the Typhon. Of course, the Typhon is a... Oh, I gotta have the music here. A giant 100-headed snake monster, part snake,
shit.
part man, with many hands and wings and snake coils coming from his thighs.
Say
fellas.
everything you just said, but slower.
Giant 100-headed snake monsters, part
No,
snake,
faster.
part man
please,
with
faster.
hands and wings
You
and
gotta-
snakes coils
More
coming from his
S's
thighs.
because of the
Sorry.
snake thing.
What was
British
the garbage
accent.
other thing you said? What was the piece of trash follow-up to 100-headed snake monster?
Part snake, part man, with many hands and wings and snake coils coming from his thighs.
Snake coils.
Versus...
Oh, first is faster. Part snake, part man, with many hands and... Oh.
I
No,
mean,
no,
versus...
no,
Who's he
versus-
fighting?
We've got the...
We can't, I mean, if it were up to me, the
I thought
rest
you were
of
still
the
doing the
episode
bit.
would be
Yeah.
nothing but reading the description of the Typhon from now on.
And so the werewolf, a human who can shapeshift into a large wolf form at either full moon or on command.
Yeah.
I mean,
don't know.
number one, here's the problem. It's only even a competitive fight, as competitive as it's going to be, one night a month. Like any other day during the month, the Typhon shows up, and all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, what's up, Doug?"
Now,
Here's
Fucking
the other
gigantic
thing.
snake
The
bites him.
Typhon has 100 heads, which means there's 100 brains that can tell it where not to be a certain time of the month. So I'm going to guess that the Typhon will
Yep.
never have to encounter the werewolf and could maybe live in harmony with
I
it.
am...
Because he has so many brains.
it's so strong it would go into a 1v1 match and decide not to fight it.
No, I'll
So
tell you what,
describe-
Brian, you're right. If there's one thing that we've learned from Twitter, it's that a bunch of brains getting together equals harmony.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say, wait, it can't even take one step. So the werewolf wins by default because it's just like, totally arguing with
and if
itself.
you haven't seen Teen Wolf, some of them can change on command.
Yeah.
You know what? 2 days ago, I would have agreed with Bonnie. But for some reason, I feel like this is the right time to not agree with No.
So what's your vote?
Moving
I know what
on.
you're saying.
Moving on. All right,
You're
werewolf
trying to make
wins.
a
Werewolf
woman
wins.
joke.
We're saying, is it everyone? Is it unanimous?
Yes.
Yeah, werewolf.
All right, congratulations to the werewolf. All right, we'll move on to our next round. Okay, here we go. We've got the number 4 seed. Can you guess what this is? Okay,
No.
good guesses. The number 4 seed, Daleks, versus the number 13 seed, Vampires.
Daleks.
All right.
Daleks v.
Now,
Vampires.
Daleks
now
is
you're making
from
it.
the
Yeah, from Doctor Who.
Doctor
Yeah.
Who.
That's right.
Afraid of stairs.
They
He's all
build
like-
billions.
Annihilation.
Annihilate.
Yeah, that's a classic Dalek phrase, annihilate.
Though I am told that the Dalek does technically hover, so maybe they've never filmed it going over.
They
definitely
they
did that.
hover sometimes. I mean, basically, the Daleks are the consummate murderers of the galaxy. They look kind of silly, but then they look weird enough that you're like, oh my god, what if in the future that's the ultimate killing device? So it kind of works for them. Against who? Vampires?
Against a vampire, of course, the living dead. They survive on blood. They spread. Obviously, they multiply. They can fly. They can turn into a damn bat. Enhanced speed. They are allergic to sunlight.
I don't want to say I'm biased, Justin, but I will say I have a strong opinion about which of these should be the one to be the superior fighting force.
Man, there's this thing I want to say. I'm not gonna say it.
No, go ahead, say it, Justin. Say the thing. Justin, you have a thing you want to say. Go ahead and say it.
You want to know what I will?
Is it a preference
I
about
will.
which should
I
win
will.
between the Daleks? Do you have a podcast about one or the other?
No. Brian, what I was
Bias.
going to say is that I am now assured that you have some bedroom antics themed with Nadia and Laszlo. What you've just proven is that it's not with Bonnie. It's only with you.
You know,
What
it's funny
Brian
you
does
should
in the
mention that, Bonnie said literally the exact same thing, and you won't believe the circumstance. We were hanging out in front of our house, and this is our actual house. I'll have you know. Sorry, I could just keep on going, but I'll drain everyone. Don't worry. Yeah. Anyway, my vote is vampires.
Brian votes
I-
vampire.
I see.
Daleks would sweep them.
Doesn't say
There's
Daleks.
you can't convert a Dalek to a vampire, but a Dalek can kill a vampire. This is
Yeah.
no contest.
Yeah, it's true. I'm going to say Dalek because it's 2020 and it's going around saying vaccinate.
You ever
Wow.
you ever watch a soccer game where like your team wins, but it's because the other
it.
team
Let's
scores
roll
on their
with
own
it.
goal? So
disappointed
congrats, Manchester
face.
United.
Let's do it.
Justin's disappointment face was too
not
funny,
I,
guys.
just want you-
disappointed.
I
It's
hope
just-
they make it all the way to number one, and I hope you remember this moment.
all I know is that every once in a while, and I hope that this is part of our charm, is that every once in a while there is this like build of like energy, like, and you're like, man, these guys are really good at improv. And then there's always this one moment in the Ali Spagnola parlance years ago. We are not yes and we are no fuck you. And so we just have this build, and then we just take a hard left into the Dalek screaming vaccinate, which is like a very funny idea that has nothing to do with all of the other ideas that were there before. I just love it. It's great.
Well, Justin and Bill, my friend Bill, made the Daleks. So,
Of course he did.
all right, our fourth matchup, the last matchup of the East Ghost Wing. The number 5 pick, the Invisible Man, versus the number 12 seed, the Gorgon. A Gorgon. Gorgon.
Now, when we talk about the Gorgon, we're not talking about the Demogorgon. This is a different Gorgon.
We are talking
Well,
about.
let's go ahead and hear the tail of the tape here.
Yeah, so the Gorgon is like the Medusa species, the
Oh,
snake-haired
sure. Yeah,
humanoids. Who have stone gaze, right? They turn people into stone. Sometimes they have wings. Sometimes they have boar tusks. Modernly, they have snake halves. Of course, Medusa is the most famous one, and her head was chopped off by Perseus. So that's the Gorgon, and
Bit of a dick move.
a little bit. We also have the Invisible Man. This is a brilliant scientist who irreversibly changed his body's refractive index. You remember refractive index from Earth science?
I do.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for that.
You have to watch out for it. To that of air, so he became invisible. He eventually went insane by being invisible, and then was backstabbed by his friend. I think in the new movie
Now-
he beats his wife.
Question, and this is a serious question.
Wait, are you just going by the trailer to the Invisible Man movie?
I'm going off of what I have been told about what
Science.
goes on in that movie. And
Okay,
science.
all right.
So I assume that the mechanism by which the Gorgon transforms somebody to stone involves them looking at her, right? So somehow light related. They have to see her because in the dark they don't turn to stone, or if their eyes are closed, they don't turn to stone, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Separate thing.
No. Yeah. But does the Gorgon have to see? The Gorgon has to see the target, right? Or does the target need
target
to
has
see the
to see
Gorgon?
the
Is it
Gorgon.
just eye contact? Because the eye is still
It's not a
there.
stone-turning ray that shoots from the Gorgon's eyes. It's you look upon the visage of the Gorgon. Here's the thing.
Eye contact.
Invisible Man is invisible, right?
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
What did you say? The albedo of refraction, something?
The refractivity index.
Yeah, right? Dude can't see nothing. Light goes right through them peepers.
So
It
you think
doesn't
the
get
Invisible Man
focused.
is blind?
Yes.
Because he has his cones and rods are.
And therefore cannot see the Gorgon. So the Gorgon wins, not so much from the stone turning ability.
Well, yeah, wait, how does it
but
get to a
from its
win?
ability to walk
Yeah.
up and just eat the Invisible Man.
A man who cannot be
I
seen.
mean, like,
Yes.
does the
Oh, good point.
Can't.
Does
hard
the
to find.
Invisible Man beat his wife because he's just like a punch machine and he's just walking around the house?
I think he turns invisible to escape the cops. I don't know. I haven't.
She
seen the
can't
movie.
turn him to stone
Because he can't
see her.
But he can't see.
Well,
they just
yeah, but
flop
also it's
around
like,
each other.
wait, hold on. Do you turn into a stone if you just like see Medusa in profile, or do you have to like lock eyes with Medusa and then
I
you
think that
become
Medusa
stone?
is so fucking hot that you go stone hard the moment
Yeah.
you comprehend just
you know,
how
that's
hot she
actually the
is.
story.
Yeah, she was a beautiful, avowed
She was a
priestess of
beautiful
Athena
woman.
See?
who was
Yeah.
cursed for breaking her vow of celibacy.
Okay,
No, you
but if
nailed
you're
it.
a
Hey,
crazy
hey,
ass scientist
But
who
here's
ain't
the
got no
thing.
retinas,
She didn't break her vow. She was raped, and then she bore children out
Well,
of that.
there's, I'm not.
welcome
I
to
don't.
our
I don't have.
comedy podcast.
I won't
ladies
tell
and gentlemen.
thoughtco.com that they're wrong.
Yeah. So then, anyways,
By the way,
Medusa
Bonnie,
is-
anytime
Yeah.
you just want to decide this for us, just have literally anything
help
that
us-
has the word raped in it. Then both Brian and Justin will instantly say whatever Bonnie says.
so I'm going to say that the Invisible Man is not blind, and he
Okay.
has the advantage because I don't believe
So he
it.
wins.
So he does win
So Bonnie gives a vote
because
to-
she
to
did get
Invisible Man.
she did get beheaded, so she was easily defeated.
Now we're talking about a Gorgon, not
yeah.
Medusa, but a like the species that Medusa is
Yeah.
of.
Yeah, but I think she also.
But she's the
Men
most
are
famous.
desensitized.
What
Yeah.
other Gorgon do you know? That she's it, and she got her head chopped off.
They go to school in
That-
Canada, so you wouldn't know.
That fucking Invisible Man, he does a cartwheel. He fucking does a little Michael Jackson spin. Like he picks up a knife, slices that head right clean off. Next thing you know, he's there for a rye sandwich with pastrami, ready for round 2.
I agree.
All right.
Okay, wow, there we
There
go.
you go.
A blowout for the Invisible Man, the number 5 seed in the monster match. All right, now we are making our way into the West Ghost. Seeing these are from the Western Hemisphere, starting with the number 2 seed, the number 1 in this league, Cthulhu versus Audrey II.
Sorry, are we even having this conversation? Audrey II is the plant from the musical.
Yeah.
Beautifully, wonderfully led
me, Seymour.
led by Rick Moranis, with a beautiful guest appearance from Steve Martin.
But it's Audrey,
We
too.
all agree, Audrey too, super, super great. But we're talking about fucking Cthulhu, the creeping chaos. I think that's what it's. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's big and bad.
Yeah, he's got he looks like a giant octopus head with feelers and claws and dragon-like wings. Great strength, endurance, godlike to humans,
The
telepathy.
size of a city.
Difficult to be comprehended. Also, just if you look at him and you're a human, you kind of go crazy. So kind of a lot. Of course, yeah.
but
Audrey.
take a moment. Look at those lips, though.
It's kind of cute.
No.
Not
Sorry,
this
Oh,
much.
Audrey's
Audrey
lips.
too.
Both of them have a big,
Yeah.
great
Those
lip
lips are
battle.
great.
Great lip battle. And yeah, Audrey II, a gross plant that eats people, and he's a baritone. And apparently he can reproduce. His leaves spread
I'll
and
tell
take
you
over
this
America.
much. I've
right.
experienced a beast that sits there screaming to be fed constantly. 3 times more afraid of Cthulhu.
Your
all right.
boobs weren't feeding those.
So yeah, Bonnie, even further.
Are you more
would you
afraid of
go
Audrey too?
of Audrey the second?
I am not.
Audrey too is
I,
like giving them titties.
You know what? Somehow you make it through. It's all right. Don't fear the
Feed me,
beast.
Bonnie.
Feed me, Bonnie. Feed
honestly-
me all night long.
I had one night just a couple of nights ago. I could not.
I'm getting ready for kindergarten, girl. Let me suck on your titties. It's me, your children. Sorry, I'll stop.
Yeah, I think you will. So, I went with one night of non-sleep just last week. I was just like, dear God, how did I do this for like all those years? Because
One night of not sleep makes a Bonnie humble.
All
All right, so it sounds
all right.
like
Hold on. Let me just make one play. We're having a good conversation. We're not outside the hot topic trying to impress each other. If you were forced tonight after this show
Face down, one or the
to
other.
either watch any version of Little Shop of Horrors or read or watch any versions of the Mountains of Madness or any of its derivatives, any Cthulhu
Sure. lore.
derivatives, there's no way you don't watch Little Shop, right?
Oh, so you're saying
oh, you're saying this is
you're
an
saying
entertainment battle?
objectively, yes, Audrey 2 is the weaker of the 2 villains, but
Yeah.
also you could remember that catchy tune, to be a dentist.
I
You've
mean, all
got
I'm
a talent for causing things pain.
All I'm saying is that, like, all right, Cthulhu, a bunch of people are weird. I wonder if there's a secret in this town. Oops, Cthulhu's here.
So
He's not
the
even
devil.
he's
Hold
not
on.
even the strongest older god either.
To be clear,
No, I'm just saying
in
that
just-
every
hold on,
Cthulhu
hold on, hold on.
story is basically the same.
Um,
They're all the same.
to
and
be
it's
clear-
not all that exciting.
Justin's
Wow.
version of this face-off involves us wrapping up Night Attack, walking outside. To our right, we see a plant squirreling around that's very hungry. To our left, we see the seas part. And an Empire State Building sized beast, one of the great old ones, shows
You
up.
don't.
And
You
then
don't see
you
that.
freeze in a moment, and then you say, one way to decide it, folks. Rap battle. And then you see who's better at music.
Look, if that were the case, I would go Cthulhu every time. But you're only going to see Audrey 2, and then you're going to see a nebbish man with glasses saying like, "Oh, sorry, I was a little late," as he like wipes blood off his finger. Because that's every fucking Cthulhu story. They're all nebbish people with secrets. Whatever. Fucking
back.
Cthulhu. I go. Cthulhu, go. Whatever.
I have no experience with Cthulhu that I know of.
That's good. You would be driven to madness.
Yes,
Yes.
correct.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
You be
I'm gonna
driven-
stick to my
you be-
guns here. I'm gonna use whatever credit I have to say. Pretty sure Cthulhu beats Audrey 2.
No, you're right. Yeah. Bonnie, don't worry. You'd be spared 2.5 hours of nothing happening so somebody can get dizzy in the fucking final act.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, here we go. Our matchup 6 in the monster match. First off, the number 7 seed, the Blob. Of course, the corrosive alien that crash landed on Earth inside a meteorite, constantly growing as it dissolves whatever it comes into contact with. It doesn't like the cold. That's the Blob. And that is going up against the number 10 seed, the Sharktopus.
Oh.
A half carnivorous
I
fish.
thought this was a slam dunk the moment you said the word blob, but then the only way for me to vote for this is to vote against Sharktopus. This is not. I mean, first of all, the blob, yes, it's factually the best everything, but that means I have to be a party to the killing of a Sharktopus. I don't.
Mm.
Sharktopus, of course, can survive on land. And it's half shark, half octopus. It can survive on land. It produces ink. As shown in Sharktopus versus Whale Wolf, it is intelligent enough to understand English. It also kills Eric Robert.
Man, I got nothing here.
Wait, not Eric Roberts?
No, who knows? I don't know.
It's like Eric Robert? Like the
Yes,
guy who
it's Eric
runs a
Roberts.
Pizza Hut?
Oh my gosh! How come there is not a baby sharktopus? Thanks, Renegade.
Man, what kind of cruel world is this where you have to choose between a baby sharktopus and a blob?
Man, I'll tell you, did they ever... Oh, I guess the blob hates cold, so it
Yeah.
probably wouldn't fuck around in the water.
Yeah.
So I would
Sharktopus
say-
is cold-blooded, probably.
Yeah.
But
Like,
the only
what-
place that they would meet is likely on land, at which point I'd take the blob.
What if it got squirted with ink?
Seems like they could like divvy up the world and like
Do it in a shallow pool,
decide to
warm,
just,
shallow
like-
pool.
yeah, blob can have all the land and Sharktopus has all the sea.
Now,
I mean,
doesn't the
when
blob
are they ever
grow?
even gonna meet?
Like the blob grows and grows and
He
grows.
grows as he
right?
dissolves and consumes matter. and shit.
Yeah.
Not in the water though.
Not in the water.
I mean, unless the blob
Yeah.
is plastic.
I think Sharktopus, like, he goes, whatever, man. And he's whoop, 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 whoop.
Man, I
Out
can't.
to
I
the
can't. I
ocean.
can't in good conscience. I'm too afraid of the blob. I'm gonna have to go with the blob.
Brian's going
I'm with
blob.
the blob. Let's
Yeah,
go blob.
let's go
We're
blob.
blobbing it.
All right, Bonnie, for a formality.
Yeah, I say the blob too.
All right, another
That,
blowout.
That movie scared me.
Yeah.
For the, I didn't have cable, but just when I was 5 and under, and I watched the blob when I was like 5
and under.
Yeah. So below the ages of 5. So
Yeah.
at some point, maybe 4, maybe 5, because I remember the blob.
Are you talking about the 70s remake or the original black and white one?
The 70s remake.
Yeah, the one where it ends in a
Grocery
skating
store
rink.
thing. Oh, it's a skating,
Skating rink. They
yeah,
turn on
I
the, like,
totally remember that.
Crazy idea, guys. Why don't we turn on the freezing unit for the skating rink where the blob is currently located? And they're like, oh shit, it worked. Who knew?
All right, there we go. There's our number 6, and let's go into the number 7 round.
Oh man, Mr. Bruick bringing all the feels saying that this game is making him miss FSL tonight. You and me both.
Too bad. It'll never come back.
Never.
Coming back.
What?
All right, round 7. We have the number 3
Maybe
seed.
it'll come back. Who knows?
Number 3 seed, of course, it's Mecha Streisand. It's Babs.
Holy shit!
Because she's a Godzilla. Of course, summoned by combining the 2 pieces of the Diamond of Pantheos, destroyed the town of South Park, and defeated Leonard Maltin and Cindy Poitier, defeated by the power of Robert Smith, lead singer of The Cure. Has super strength, fire breath, all of that good stuff. It can do that with Neil Diamond. And Babs is up against this number 14 seed, the Stay Puffed Marshmallow Man.
God damn it! Why?
At over 112 feet tall, its massive size is used to wreak havoc on New York and its citizens.
Yeah, but it went up pretty easily. Like, you just shot it with fire. And
Also,
then it was
it was
done.
like a number one. It was a made up knockoff of the Pillsbury Doughboy, right? Let's
Or
like
the Michelin Man.
or either of those. Like
Yeah.
it was definitely a fake
Arguably,
intellectual
though,
property.
arguably more iconic. Like when's the
Yeah.
last time that like anything was obviously a derivative that became more iconic?
Okay, how about this? I always thought it was a real product.
Wow.
So,
No,
yeah,
honestly,
did.
they could have launched. Nabisco could have come to whoever did Ghostbusters and say, "Yeah, we want to do Stay Puffed. We want to actually just make marshmallows." And I think they could have had a gigantic fucking business.
Oh, yeah.
So how does that make Stay Puffed the winner in this face-off? Because last
For
time I
this
checked,
reason,
Barbara Streisand was real.
Mecha Streisand. Well, number one, Mecha Streisand. So it's a mecha version of a Godzilla-esque
Gigantic.
Streisand.
Yeah, very
Mm.
litigious too.
I call her Meta Streisand. This is a joke on a joke on a
Wow.
joke. All right. Stay Puft Marshmallow Man in a comedy became an iconic horror character that is simultaneously beloved. It's way more complex. I'm going with Stay Puft.
Oh, he's going Stay Puffed. All right.
I mean, if we're going for what we want to root for, sure, but it was just an avatar construct for Gozer the Gozerian, Gozer the Destructor.
Fucking Mecha Streisand got owned by Robert Smith. When's the last time you looked at Robert Smith and said, that motherfucker could beat me up?
That's how you convince a comedy partner, my friend. I'm on Team Stay Puft.
Wow. Bonnie, what? Just as a
Well,
formality.
I mean, Gozer was a difficult foe, so I think I'd go with
Yeah.
Stay Puft too.
Wow, a huge shutout upset. The third lowest seed, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, upsets the number 3.
The form has been chosen.
Yeah, there we go. The fucking George Mason of our fucking bracket.
All right, and the final of our round 1, matchup number 8, in the monster match, the number 6 seed, a Gru, the dark-dwelling human rat hybrid that is likely to eat you. He's up against the number 11 seed, you know him, a Graboid.
Yeah.
You eat everything sandworm.
Oh.
It can go at a top speed of 15 to 20 miles per hour. It hunts, spreads parasites, and it can hunt again. Ooh, I wrote hunt.
Spreads
Is that a fucking
parasites?
Pokemon?
The Graboid?
Yeah.
A Graboid?
Yeah.
No, wait. Do you not know where a Graboid's from?
No, I don't. That's why I'm asking this question.
Tremors!
It's from Tremors.
Oh, shit. No, that's the one.
Tremors!
That's the one. Because Kevin Bacon is real.
Kevin Bacon's real.
Also,
So
the
I
dad
actually-
from Family Ties is real.
That's
I
one
don't
we
know
should
if
watch
he's
with the kids.
in this.
Is it too weird?
Uh,
I forgot.
No.
I don't-
I just rewatched Tremors.
Did
It's-
you?
It is certainly safe for probably all but Callie, although Callie probably is, I don't know.
Callie
within-
would probably mock it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever age. No, there's some good shit in there. The physical effects are really good. I actually just watched it with the internet's bad boy, Merrill Barr, on his stream. It's awesome. I'm gonna have to go with a Graboid over a Gru because a Gru is there in just kind of regular dungeon and house, and you're in a field, you're in a dark room situations.
Yeah, might
That
as well be like
Graboid,
a
rattle. Got your ass.
Yep.
Mhm.
No, I'm with you.
Interesting. Now, might I posit? I don't want to bias the thing anyway. But
Sorry, what specifically don't you want to do?
I don't want to. I don't want to.
Oh, good. Okay.
The Gru.
Sorry, what was it you didn't want to do?
Well, I just don't want to.
Okay,
It's
all
the Gru.
Yeah.
The Gru lives.
Hey,
in,
wait, Bryce. A lot of people were saying that you wanna.
Well, no, I don't want. I would rather if I could help it.
Don't
I
want
would,
to.
I would like to do
Okay.
this, but I don't
Don't
want to.
want
I'm so glad.
You
I'm
don't
so
want
glad
it.
you don't
Okay.
want to. So,
Okay.
sorry, you
All right.
were gonna say.
Well, the Gru.
Also, wait. Just to be clear, you wanna.
No, I don't want to.
you don't.
Okay.
wanna.
All right.
don't
That was my
wanna.
mistake.
Right.
I
right.
was thinking that you wanna, but you.
I don't want to.
Don't.
Okay,
Okay.
I do
gotcha,
not
okay.
want to.
Well,
Gotcha.
then maybe
So-
you shouldn't.
Yeah, fuck you, Gru. You're out.
All right, there we go.
Graboid wins.
From downtown. Bang.
Okay, got
Well,
my
then
ass.
maybe you shouldn't. I ought to try that with the kids sometime.
When the kids are setting up a bit. So there we go. In the round 1.
Oh my God, I'd be so proud. I'd be so proud of the moment that my 3 children are very clearly setting up a bit where it's like my 16-year-old turns to my 12-year-old like it would be a real shame. The 12-year-old turns to the 7-year-old, and the 7-year-old is like, I know what you're thinking. And then the 12-year-old is like, well, I don't understand, guys. What is it? And the 16, oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh my goodness.
They should watch this show.
No, they shouldn't.
All right, that rounds up our first round of matchups, and that brings us into our second round of monster match. Our number 1 seed is going up against our number 9 seed, Godzilla v Werewolf.
All right, now how do you justify a werewolf winning this one? Number 1, werewolf
What if
ain't
he's a
showing
scientist?
Up.
Yeah.
What, except for one day out of
Yeah,
the month.
who defeats Godzilla all the time? A scientist who's like, and I'm
The
not going to do
werewolf
an accent.
wins, but not while he's a werewolf. It's while
Yeah.
he's human.
And he can use his werewolf strength to move the reactor into position because
Hold
it
on,
broke.
but every time
Yeah.
Godzilla is quote unquote defeated, it's defeated by spoiler alert, every Godzilla movie ever. Just give him what he wants. What's the big deal?
But you know who loves rolling over and showing their belly? Werewolves.
Wolves.
I don't know. I'll step back. Bonnie?
Bonnie, what are you thinking? Godzilla versus a werewolf.
Yeah, I just saw the last Godzilla and it was like, he's here to save us all, right?
King of the Monsters. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's true.
like, he
definitely
was
has a
here
big
because
wrestling match.
of this whole, like, he's protecting us
Now
from
I've got a point of order here. Just some of the preliminary research available to everybody who's voting.
Yeah.
Here. With the werewolf, I was told animals won't attack werewolves, and in fact, canines will even bow down to werewolves.
Question: what happens if a werewolf bites a Godzilla?
Oh.
Godzilla werewolf.
Right? Isn't that what happens?
Or is he a
You're telling me
werezilla?
they fight to the death and the werewolf never bothers to bite to Godzilla? So I'm going to give it to Godzilla, but starting now, Godzilla has werewolf powers.
So now it's a
One day
werezilla.
out of the month, he's a werezilla.
Oh, okay.
That's my proposal.
And by a
All right, so
werewolf.
so hold on. So there's a fight. The werewolf is a scientist, but eventually it's like, oh, but you just need to bite Godzilla and then he will fall. And so he's like, fine, and he goes out on a hovercraft and he gets launched by some fucking catapult and he's still in his tattered science outfit. He's like, and he bites him and Godzilla just fucking turns to the werewolf and he's like, you fucked up now, bitch. And fucking rips that werewolf right off, throws him in the ocean, and then chills back in the ocean because now he's got what he wants, which is werewolf powers.
Correct. Well, but he doesn't know for at least the next round that he has werewolf powers. So let's put a pin in that.
Oh.
It's a
All
surprise.
he knows is that he defeated that little furry thing.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then let's just put a
yeah.
pin in that for later.
And then, all right, so he says, you fucked up now, bitch. And he fucking throws him. And I'm thinking Eric Stoltz for the werewolf. I don't know why. And he fucking throws him into the ocean. But like the camera
says
zooms
as he's going. He's like, first I lose back to the future.
One at a time.
Oh,
the camera just zooms in ominously on the fucking bite. And so we know as the audience. But what does Eric Stoltz say?
Oh, he says, I wish I got Back to the Future.
Boom. Dead.
Wow. All right. So is this a blow? Is this a blowout?
Oh, no,
it's
wait, hold
canon.
on, wait, no. And by the way, I meant Eric Stoltz.
Eric Stahl. That's right. All right. Bonnie, you on board with this?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, there we go. All right, that's a shutout for Godzilla v. Werewolf. Let's get into our round 10. The number 4 seed, the Dalek, versus the number 5 seed, the Invisible Man. Can you exterminate that which you cannot see?
Yeah, dude, get ready. Spoiler alert, the Invisible Man is the producer. He's the guy behind the director, and the Dalek only sees the director. He doesn't see the Invisible Man, and the Invisible Man also the Money Man, and the Dalek knows power, and so I'm going to say that the Invisible Man wins.
Hell no. Like, Daleks are always coming up with some dumbass sci-fi shit that invalidates the reason why you think you're going to beat them. Like, you think you have, like, it's like, oh, I've created the ultimate Dalek ray. And they're like, you didn't realize we have an ultimate Dalek ray shield. And then they keep coming at you.
That's actually a really good point. Like, that's the one thing about the Daleks. Like, even when they did the episode where they're like, you're defeated by stairs. And then instead of saying exterminate, they go, elevate. And then they float up past the stairs.
They're always doing dumb shit like that. So there's no way. It's like the Invisible Man's going to be doing like, it's like, ooh, like I'm doing the Harlem Shake. You can't see me. And the dog will be like,
see infrared, motherfucker. Do-do-do-do-do.
Your dick is small, small, small. Exterminate.
I think the Dalek comes back and gives him rubella and then says, vaccinate.
Oh, my goodness. All
You have
right,
unlimited
that's.
coupons to come back to that bit.
I think that's 2 to
But
1.
we all agree that the Daleks win.
All right, that's
We're at a point now where it only gets funnier the more Bonnie tries to shoehorn in her vaccinate joke.
all right. Match 11. We've got the number 2 seed Cthulhu.
It's a great bit. I'm so happy.
The number 2 seed Cthulhu versus the number 7 ranked The Blob. Cthulhu v. The Blob.
Okay, now hypothetically, the blob is like an amoeba
It is an
that just
amoeboid,
eats
yes.
everything. So theoretically, the blob should just start munching on any tentacle and just keep going and end
The
up.
blob, yeah, the blob is rolling around and then he comes up on somebody fucking who's like nervous saying like, oh, I have some friends. I just don't know if you'd understand them. Like,
No, I'm talking about full on Cthulhu.
swallows that motherfucker.
Like,
and he's
okay,
like,
it's a real thing that humans die of swimming and accidentally swallowing an amoeba that eats their brain. So if we have a giant ass amoeba and a giant ass humanoid, it stands to reason that's probably the one thing Cthulhu's afraid of is like, I don't want no brain amoeba.
Interesting. Interesting.
I mean, yeah, he's an old god. Right.
Slow.
Because Cthulhu does
Little,
have
little slow around the edges.
telepathy.
Okay.
He can fly. Here's the one thing: vast awareness of
We
all things
heard
occurring.
it, Cthulhu. We get it. Greatest generation. Fucking Christ. Where you fucking eat your turkey. God damn it. Why can't you be cool like the blob? Fucking blob. He's flexible, man. He goes with the flow. He is the flow, motherfucker. Fucking blob. That's where it's at. I'm sorry. Have you ever even heard of TikTok?
Okay,
Wait, hold
Cthulhu.
on. All right, I just have.
Cthulhu.
I just had this idea where every Cthulhu story, where all the nervous people go back to worship Cthulhu, the only thing they do is they literally hear the fucking Seinfeld theme, and he's just doing his material.
Have you ever?
What's the deal with humans? They're walking around eating only to lose the food out of their butts. If you were gonna put the food on the ground, why'd you pick it up?
I'm going full blob. I can't see anything other than the blob.
Right,
Now that
going
we
blob.
positioned Cthulhu as like when I was doing my act of the cat skills, this killed. Look at this. That's not a mustache. Those are tentacles.
You can't comprehend them.
All right, Brian says the blob. Justin.
Oh, it's the blob. Oh, wait, shit. That's why everybody goes crazy, because his axe sucks.
I thought that's what you were going
Cthulhu
for.
passing out little flyers for his improv rehearsal.
Yeah.
Or his recital.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, I got to bring 25 friends.
And they can't be mad.
Let me tell you about penny pudding.
You know what the hardest part about beating a 20-year-old wife is? There's 20 of them. It's me, Cthulhu.
Hey.
That's how bad I am.
I'm incomprehensible over here.
Good thing the blob defeated me.
All right, we got the blob on that one.
Who would marry 21-year-old girls?
A polygamist, I guess.
Yeah,
Ew.
probably that.
That's the gross. Okay, cool. Cool. All right, round 7. the number 14.
Oh my God.
Our number 14 seed is the Stay Puffed Marshmallow Man.
Do we have to contractually appear on camera from this one forward?
No, let's come. All right, here we go. What's going on?
Versus the number 11 seed, the Graboids from Tremors.
Ooh.
Stay Puffed versus Graboids.
I mean, wouldn't Stay Puffed quite literally be the most delicious thing that the
Yeah.
Graboids could find?
And it makes the most
Noise.
thing that the graboids go for, because
Which is that
they
giant
feel,
thundering.
Yeah, the thundering thing. Like, so, like, it's
And plus-
literally registering the Richter on the Richter scale. The graboids are coming all for that shit, and they're getting the Stay Puft.
He quite literally walks with rhythm, which attracts the worm. I mean, I don't know that there's a
Yeah.
more
Now,
lopsided matchup in this whole thing.
Now, I don't know enough about the Tremors cinematic universe, but the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is in New York. Do the graboids operate in urban cities where there's a lot of concrete and brick?
I mean, everybody's got to go on vacation.
I mean, okay. Let me put it this way: the graboids are fanged worms that are attracted to rhythmic noises. I don't know.
We all are.
Have you ever
But I'm saying,
the
can
Stay
he-
Puft Marshmallow Man, on the other hand, to his credit, is made of marshmallows
Well,
and is
okay.
very large and rhythmically walks. So you're right. This one really is a thinker.
I'm just wondering if New York's own Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is safe by being on the asphalt. If I don't,
I don't know.
No,
Was
no, no, no,
Jared
no,
saved
no,
by
no.
Subway?
Well,
Wow. Funny you should mention the subways, because that would be the only thing that you could say, is that the graboids break through asphalt and concrete and stuff. But if they were over a subway line, it'd be another thing. But again, we're only talking about degrees. There's no way that a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man can kill a graboid in a way. Like, the graboids live underground. They're gonna kill it bit by bit. Graboids 100%.
Also, did we mention that the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is made of fucking marshmallows?
if he was made out of marshmallows, they should have just ate his ass instead of
See,
screaming and worrying.
Here's
They
the thing is-
exploded him and then they ate him. That's
The worm-
literally part of the canon.
I should watch that movie sometime.
The
Yeah.
worm doesn't even need to go. He just needs to wait for it to be summer in New York, and that thing's melted
Yep.
everywhere.
Hell yeah.
yeah,
Legit point.
There we go. All right.
exactly. There's just people screaming, "Yo, dead ass, you melting, dog!"
All right, we are in our semifinals now of the monster match. All right, our first semifinal, the number 1 seed Godzilla versus the Daleks.
Hold on. Before we get to this, I just realized this is the Kanata Dome, and we haven't done it for half a decade, and I'm so happy it's back. This is great. Also, I guess Daleks, because they're smart, and humans always beat Godzilla, and if Daleks are superior to humans, they're just humans with robot bodies and more smarts.
But
It's gotta be
Godzilla-
Daleks.
But they're
Godzilla's
they're
very big.
The Daleks aren't super smart. They're ruthlessly efficient, theoretically. Like, that's
Yeah.
what they.
But they're
that's what they
literally
do, is
just
they just
brains
kill
and
as
robot
fast as possible.
Canisters, right?
Yeah, but they're not thinkers. They're not like, I am a Dalek. Do I feel? Although those are usually the episodes, because that's supposed to be the weird Dalek that, like, drives the plot forward. But in general, they're just a gigantic wave of death.
So is it their numbers or their tenacity that represents the Daleks?
It's numbers and,
Ruthless.
like, military efficiency, right? So
Yeah.
they're the ones that'll know, like, we sweep right, then we sweep left. Like, that's their
But
that's
meanwhile,
their
like,
worth.
isn't there a thing where, like, Godzilla, like, absorbs radiation and becomes more powerful from it?
Yes, he
What are they gonna shoot
often
him with?
absorbs. Yeah, like, if, like, Mothra or fucking some other shit, like, hits him with stuff, like,
Yeah.
he'll often, like, blah, and then, like, double barf it back. So I think that the Daleks amass, and they're like, we will shoot on you at once, exterminate, and they all shoot, and then he's like, and he fucking is, like, getting charged up, and his eyes are going, and then
And
he
then he,
gets
like,
a fucking
barfs power on all of them, like, melting
Yeah.
their
Now,
metal
it is-
bodies.
Exactly. But that only gets half of him. And then they're like, ha, 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 Godzilla, you didn't get us all. And then he's like, big boner, just jizzing fucking, like, the rest of it all over them. And they're all like, no, not jizz.
That's
That's gross. Self-immolate.
Ejaculate.
Great minds.
That's too good. I think I'm on board.
So we're saying.
I mean, I'm definitely on whatever just happened from Justin's mouth is gospel.
I gotta say that
It sounded like a Godzilla. A Godzilla came. So I think
Godzilla.
They saw
Godzilla
Godzilla.
came. Yeah.
That motherfucker ejaculated.
oh jeez.
Okay.
Go Jizza.
Go Jesus! Oh god. All right, and our last semifinal, the number 7 seed, the Blob, versus the number 11 seed, Graboids. The Blob versus Graboids.
This is a toughie.
Man, Blob don't care what
Blob
genus, species,
Nah.
kingdom, phylum, class,
Man,
order,
you would think that
family,
Blob,
genus, species, don't care.
Blob
Goblin.
doesn't even check it. Blob doesn't check his ads.
Blob's a gobbler. And
Blob
I'm
doesn't give
afraid
a fuck.
fucking
Blob gobbler.
Graboid, you just got grabbed, Boyd.
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 Boy.
I mean, it's like, look, you think a giant amoeba cares that it's got some worms? It definitely is gobbling that shit up.
All right. Argument. Tremors is a better movie than any movie that features the Blob.
Yes, but Invasion of the Body Snatchers did not make the competition. So put a pin in that for a later date.
Oh, we should do this again next week, but just the movies.
Yeah. If we're doing Body Snatchers, because then like somebody was saying
That's the
thing,
best.
the thing would be like, I mean, and we're dealing with a similar idea there, but like,
But the Blob, am I right in thinking that the Blob was a thinly veiled parable about socialism or communism or something?
They did. I was reading the Wikipedia. They do kind of make a point of saying that he turns red as he kills more people and the blood becomes a thing. So I would not be surprised for that time.
Where it's like it's,
for that to be a part
the
of it.
Leviathan. It
Communism.
just keeps getting bigger and
yeah, I mean, I think that like the beauty of the Blob as a creature is that it is just no matter
very curvy.
where you
That
go.
is the beauty.
I mean, it's dummy thick.
It's like
but also,
it's all cushion for pushing. That's
Oh
the
my
beauty of the
God.
Blob.
But look at the DSLs on the Graboid.
wow.
I mean, I'm just saying, if you want to get a little head, I wouldn't go the Bloboid.
DSLs. You and I have very different understanding of what constitutes a DSL.
Because the Graboid has I did some
DSL?
research. The Graboid has tentacles, and those tentacles have mouths. So
That's true. Yeah.
Sorry, Bonnie didn't know what a DSL was.
it got really great internet about 15 years ago.
I'm pretty sure, like, one of the most commonly uttered phrases during the act of sucking dick
Just-
is "no teeth."
Just hearing Brian off mic go, "Dick sucking lips," has made my night. All right, folks, I'm gonna need an answer here: the Blob or Graboid?
Got to be the Blob.
Brian's
Blob.
saying the Blob.
Yeah,
Justin saying the Blob. Bonnie, you saying the Blob?
I say the Blob, but he's not going to take it all the way. No.
No, you need those teeth in
Also,
order
I'm
to.
terrified of
without those teeth, he's
amoebas.
more like the blah. Am I right?
Oh, righty then. All right, folks, it's our finals round. From the East Coast, tearing up the scene, our number 1 seed, it's Godzilla, versus our number 7 seed after an upset in round 11, it's the Blob on the West Coast. Godzilla v. the Blob.
Godzilla
and
versus
this is
the Blob.
a
Although let's-
Godzilla, a werewolf
Yeah,
Godzilla.
let's remember that at a certain like Godzilla at this point is like fucking around with the Blob, and he's like trying to like he gets his foot stuck and he falls down, and the Blob looks like he's like kind of coming up on his leg, and then all of a sudden, fucking clouds pass, full moon comes out, Godzilla's like, now
So
all of a sudden he's where Godzilla.
To fill it the rest of the way out, I would love to believe that he walks up, punches. It's covered Manhattan, right? Blob has Manhattan. He punches it.
Yeah.
He's like, it won't come off his hand. It goes all around him, it completely surrounds him. He's like being enveloped and digested. And then that's when the full moon comes out. And just like with a human who turns into a werewolf, he gets bigger, gets big
Yeah.
enough, tears asunder the Blob as he comes out covered in furry shit. Then what?
Then he
Well, here,
blasts it with his cold fusion
Cold fusion.
Breath.
fusion breath.
Cold fusion breath.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. No, he hits him with that, and the blob is hurt, right? But the blob is ever expanding. At this point, if he's already all over New York, like that's a lot of fucking area to cover. You can't just have him breathe over all of it. But I'll tell you what, we're gonna turn it over for our final monster. The king of the monsters will be in the hand of our chat realm. Brian, if you were gonna make an argument for the blob, what would you make?
Oh, well, the blob is insatiable, unstoppable, all-consuming, amorphous, can survive in salt water, on land. All it needs is mass, and eventually it will consume all organic material on the planet, which I feel like is a pretty good argument for the blob.
Oh shit, the other one, it's only hurt by cold. So a radioactive blast,
Psh,
That's
maybe
hot.
that whips it up.
Yeah, it's loving it, man. It gets all
It's
jiggly.
like, it's like, oh, I didn't know you were fucking with me like that.
Yeah, I didn't know you like disco. Look at us. Let's dance.
But
Yeah,
I said,
and in fact, maybe the blob like forms up into a blob shape of a Godzilla. What if the two of them fuck?
Oh,
oh, Brian.
and then like, yeah, that blob, that
Bryce's
blob's
eyes
like,
go up.
Fucking- he goes, and then
Okay, I'm listening. I'm paying attention.
Godzilla gives him this look, no offense, but I need them DSLs. Then suddenly these worms come from the middle of the
Ow,
blob,
yeah,
chi-cha,
yeah.
and they show them
Yeah.
teeth. Come on.
and then Godzilla's like, I'm definitely not Laszlo from What We Do in the Shadows.
As we know, and finally the blob is like, come on, Godzilla, you know you want to have the sex. Let's make the love now.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And then Brian comes.
Man.
So what's the argument for where Godzilla again?
It's cold fusion. What is cold,
Cold
fusion? anyway?
fusion.
More like
Okay.
gold fusion.
Right?
Wow.
He's all like, because isn't it cold? Why do they call it cold fusion if it's not cold?
Because it is a loveless marriage.
Oh, as he looks right at me.
Sorry, I don't
like,
know.
that was
Well, he was
super intense eye contact.
he was addressing you,
Dracula
so
kind of like.
he was.
It's an unfair punch out that both of us have at any moment to make it too real. God damn it.
All right, we're putting 1 minute, one last minute here on the clock.
I would like to believe that the two of them fuse, and that's the end.
Oh,
Gotcha.
But we've
Pussy.
essentially just fused all the monsters at this point.
No, the argument for where Godzilla is that you can just knock enough shit on top of the blob that the blob eventually dies.
Also, the where Godzilla could just swim to the North Pole and wait for the crust to fall off. I mean,
and then eventually it's going to get cold,
yeah,
right?
yeah, that's true.
as all marriages do.
I mean, yeah.
Oh my God. This time he looked away, though. He was just.
That's how you know he's guilty, because he didn't look at him.
Yeah. That was him just fucking no looking the three. Just like,
Godzilla's loveless marriage. It's got to be where Godzilla, right?
All right, with a
Well, here we go.
61 to 39%, the chat realm has said definitively where Godzilla is our monster match.
Yay!
Yay. So I guess where Godzilla and the penguins they live.
And cockroaches.
Cockroaches.
Yeah.
Okay.
and divorce.
The lawyers, they're the winners.
Before we go, I have some many big ups I want to give, especially to Dark Redeemer, Annalisa, Dr. R.B. Grew, TV's Travis, Bad Movie Addict, B. Cawford, TSC and Sam, The Crimson Zamboni, The Void King, Water Ice Scoop, Wind, The Reverend Puck, Ren Igu, HSHL, and Matt Hawley for all these great ideas and many more. We got a bunch of these So it may not be too long.
That was a great game. I am thrilled to play it again. Thank you very much to everybody who made that happen.
Hell yeah. By the way, hey, Brian, you want to do a little diamond time?
Well, Diamond Time? I've never heard of such a thing. Please explain this.
Diamond Time is where you shout out your projects at the end of this here show. Head on over to reddit.com/r/Diamond Club or diamondclub.reddit.com. Sticky post top of the page will bring you where you need to go. We begin with Hot Beverages, who writes, butts.
I'm so glad people have figured out that this is an avenue for bits. I think this is good.
Yeah.
And my favorite bit about this bit is the fact that the top post underneath is Hot Beverages on her own post saying, don't worry, I already downvoted this. For some reason, I'm not able to open it. Why don't you keep on going?
Manolith the Defiant says, hey, Diamond Club, I was having a lazy Sunday just going down the YouTube rabbit hole, and I stumbled upon a channel called The Wild Report. I don't know if he's been mentioned here before, but he's basically a young crocodile hunter. His last episode was about how to remove a snake from a glue trap.
Ooh.
I really like what he's doing, and I thought others might like to fill the void that was left when Steve Irwin passed. The Wild Report.
Yeah, I'm not familiar. How big is this channel?
We're looking at 15,000 subscribers.
Ooh, so yeah, just
Very
getting
cool.
started.
Blow
Very cool.
them up. Look at that.
Aw.
Man, is that a universal problem? Is people laying out glue traps and then being surprised when snakes are on them? And also, should we let our friend the Blob know about this?
Yeah.
I guess if you maybe catch like a garter snake or something in one and you want to, a harmless snake and you want to let it go.
Or if the concept of a snake in a glue trap interests you, then just fucking look at that dude with a snake in a glue trap. And finally, a very understater writes, does anyone know if you/Amon Rester's friends ever got back to them? And we
Oh.
don't.
We don't know.
That
Met
was
him
last week.
Yeah. Get back to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And more importantly, let us know.
Let us know. Yeah. Send it in.
Anyway, that's Diamond Time. Diamond Time is on reddit.com/r/Diamond Club.
Yo,
Shout 'em
let's
out.
whip out them mail sacks.
All right, let's do it.
Join us for drinks in the Diamond Club.
In the Diamond Club. That sounds grand.
Super grand. This is the part of the show we read your emails that you sent into mail@nightattack.tv. It's an email address, and that's where you can send them in. Like this one that we got from Stuart. Stuart writes, this is titled My 15-Year Journey. I had assumed that my journey quest to Night Attack was common, but I have yet to hear the same one. It all started with Tech TV, and from there with Kevin Rose to Dig.com, to Dig Nation, to Totally Rad Show, to Jeff Kanata guesting on the BB Live Show. In parallel, I'd followed Leo to Twit and somehow stumbled on the merging of the streams with NSFW's first episode. I've been a silent Diamond Clubber ever since. In these 15 years, 10 years of Diamond Club, ? Schwood and Jerry have gone from older men I look up to peers living familiar and or similar life experiences. Time is weird. Oh God, he's got one of these names. This is from @__.
Oh, by the way,
Okay, Stuart.
Fun fact, @__, because we arranged the names on the Founders Club plaque alphabetically, guess who has the very first slot is @__ on there. And the very last one is somebody who did a version of 8 = D. So it begins with that name and then ends with a dick. It's great. Dude, that's
fucking hilarious.
awesome, dude. That couldn't be. I'm so thrilled. It's canonically what if we were to make up a story of what we would expect our fans to be like, it would be exactly that.
All right. Let me put it out there then, because we've heard a bunch of these kinds of stories, and it's some version of either Rev3 or Twit, right? You got involved in some element. If you think that you have the weirdest way that you got into this show, that's what I want. That's what I want at mail@nightattack.tv. I want the weirdest that, like, all right, nobody's got a story like me of how I found this show.
There we
Pretty
go.
good.
All right, we get another email here from Jason. Jason writes, hey, folks. I just got a call, and Hollywood wants to make a movie about the rise and fall of the Diamond Club empire. Who would play the main characters? It can be multiple people if someone has to be, say, young Brian, and someone has to be current Brian, and someone has to be future Brian. So let's start with that. What's your dream cast for a Diamond Club film?
Oh man, buckle in. This is gonna be a long episode.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. Should we cast each other?
We should cast each
Yes.
other is exactly
Yes.
the
We
thing I
should
was going to
cast
say.
each other. All right. So, Brian, you cast me. I'll cast Brian. Bryce, you cast Bonnie. Bonnie, you cast Bryce.
Justin is definitely played by Charlie Day. Current Justin or back to
Let's just say
child?
current.
Yeah,
Let's start off with
Charlie Day.
current.
You get Charlie Day.
He gets Charlie Day.
Is that bad?
No. The weirdest thing about the Charlie Day thing is that I don't see it or hear it.
Can somebody
it's
play
an
this
energy
man some
thing.
audio from Charlie Day?
Well, Charlie
guess-
Day has like crackhead energy that Justin doesn't have. Justin has very charismatic energy, but Charlie Day has the kind of crackhead energy.
Yeah, that's. I guess that's the thing. I just always wonder where the connection, because I don't see the connection. But
Play the Pepe Silva. Just find in the clip of Pepe Silva.
The most crackhead version of
yes, and
Yeah,
listen
right?
to it side by side and tell me I'm crazy.
All right, here's a very
They're
fun-
on to me, dude. Those guys are sharp as nails up there. You can't put anything past them. Oh my god, dude, I'm freaking out. I am so stressed out. I feel like I'm having a panic attack.
That's not
stress.
Justin.
That's not
About
it.
stress, okay? I've stumbled onto a major company conspiracy, Mac. How about that for stress? What the hell are you talking about? This company is being bled like a stuffed pig, Mac, and I got a paper trail to prove it. Check this out. Take a look at this. Jesus Christ,
That right there is the mail. Now let's talk about the mail. Can we talk about the mail, please, Mac? I'm dying to talk about the mail with you all day, okay? Pepe Sylvia. This name keeps coming up over and over again. Every day, Pepe's mail's getting sent back to me. Pepe Sylvia, Pepe Sylvia. I look in the mail. This whole box is Pepe Sylvia. So I say to myself, I gotta find
I
this.
think
All right,
I think
that's
Charlie
fair.
Day
That's
could do. I think Charlie Day could do a character, a caricature.
No, look.
Maybe.
I'm saying I'm wrong because I've gotten this comparison since I've been on the internet. So like, dozens of people who have listened to my voice can't be wrong. That I sound like Charlie Day or I have a Charlie Day-esque energy. So all right, I will go with that. I will say for Brian, who I would imagine is Alan Tudyk.
Whoa!
Whoa.
Very
I
flattering.
don't know who that is.
I thought for sure you would go with Mr. Robot, but I'll take an Alan Tudyk any day of the week.
You don't get to be Christian Slater. Like, I don't know. I like Alan Tudyk's a good pick.
No,
Yeah, no, I would say-
again, maybe
yeah.
you're misinterpreting. I'm thankful that I got Alan Tudyk and not Christian Slater.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I
mean,
got the
Christian's-
cool pilot who died surprisingly in the movie instead of the dad who turned out to be a child molester. Those are two spoilers for you.
That's not the only thing that Christian Slater's done.
No.
Like,
He also murdered all those teenagers back in Heathers.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you guys seen Heathers recently? That's some Christian Slater ass Christian Slater. He hasn't changed one iota. So for Bonnie,
Oh.
all right, I'm casting
there we
for
go.
Bonnie.
There we go.
I think Bonnie would be really, really coolly played by Charlize Theron. I think that would be very
I totally
cool.
see it.
I don't know who that is.
She's
don't know
Imperator
names.
Furiosa from Mad Max
Yeah.
Fury Road.
Oh, yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Look, it's you.
Wow. That's very flattering.
Yeah, I think
yeah.
I think Charlize would kill it, and I think you'd because
Or
Bonnie.
Kristen Wiig. Actually, Kristen Wiig.
Oh, Kristen
That-
Wiig is
with
a.
that potty mouth.
Which
Sorry.
would you? Okay, that's your. I
It's neither
say.
here nor there.
Okay,
Those worms had some DSLs.
I'm not saying anything about your wife. Bonnie, what about? Me?
I would say the new Spider-Man with Spike.
wow.
Yeah.
Tom Holland?
Tom Holland. Yeah.
Wow, I am honored. Thank you very much.
So
you
it
got a
turns out
good-looking cast.
We're hot. We're fucking hot, y'all.
goddamn right, man. We're crushing it.
All right, we have one last email here from Steak Plant. This is a pretty quick one. I just got a space pen. What is your guys' everyday carry? Do you have an everyday carry?
The biggest parts of my everyday carry, when I touch my pockets, I have the number 4 in my mind, and there are 4 things that I look for. A phone, of course, keys. But on the keys, there is one kind of thing. There it is. Is the this utility key, which is a 6-in-1 multi-tool. It's got a Phillips head and a serrated edge and a flat edge and a bottle opener and a flat screwdriver, whatever. It's a very useful thing. On my wallet side, I have forget what this.
You have
called.
a money clip.
Yeah, the money clamp. That's what it's called. It's like a chip clip that clicks on there and then closes. And then the last other thing is the earbuds, my Raycons.
Oh, your
That's
Raycons.
the other thing that's always in my pocket.
Coin.
You know what?
You keep a challenge coin on you?
You called me out.
You don't have
I don't share this.
I did not know this.
Wow.
This is a secret thing that I'm going to share on the show because Ryan Holiday wrote the book The Obstacle is the Way, and he modernized a lot of stoicism, and he's got this Memento Mori challenge coin, and it just says, it's just a skull on one side that says Memento Mori, and on the other side are some olive branches, and it says, you could leave life right now. And it's meant to remind you, like, make every minute count, realize, like, this is your life and it's passing you minute by minute.
Yeah.
I kept it in my pocket. Ironically, I lost it playing with my daughters in their grandparents' backyard. And then 2 months later,
A bird died because it tried to eat it.
nope.
Shit.
Worse yet, my
Dude, R.I.P.
father-in-law,
that bird, though.
my father-in-law reached out to me saying, do you have a coin of like a skull and a veiled threat? And it's like,
He thought it was fucking John.
He did. He just finally found it like a month or two later, and it took them a few weeks to figure out. Brian's the kind of weirdo that would carry this shit around.
They were over there swinging. Last time they were over here,
skull and a
it
veiled
fell
threat.
out of it. And my parents were just like, we called like the people down at the pro shop to see like who would be mad at us, or like, is there a
my
problem
God.
They
with
thought it
you?
was a threat.
Yeah. So it was like they finally go, oh, I know the internet. So they typed in what it said, and they're just like, oh, this is a thing. This is Brian.
That's some Brian ass shit. Oh my God. That's fucking hilarious.
Wait, what about you, Justin? What do you carry on you?
Oh, just, I mean, yeah, the earbuds, the wallet thing, keys. That's it. Like, I don't have anything that I like always need to carry with me aside from like what the average shit.
Bonnie, what about you? You got an EDC?
I carry my patience and good sense of humor.
Okay.
There are some days I don't make it out of my room, out of my house in yoga pants and whatever kind of gear that I'm just like, okay, I got to be flexible so I can pick up stuff off the ground and chase the kids and try to get, So yeah, no, basically I may or may not take my phone with me wherever I go. A lot of times I forget it, so I can't say that's an always carry.
Sure.
So
Okay. Her
Yeah.
patience.
just gotta be
What
patient.
about you, Bryce?
I got a fan sent us these key sheets, which are nice and keeps the keys from jingling. It's not an everyday carry, but I do tend to. I don't have my backpack with me today, but in my backpack I usually keep like equipment and stuff. So a friend was having a wedding over the weekend. And I was one of the few people who were there because it's coronavirus and not a lot of people were able to make it. And our buddy Mike TV was there, and he had his he's got this nice cardioid mic, and it's great, but it was
It's made from the blood of virgins.
and it was
Because he's a vampire.
Yeah, he sucks the
right.
blood of the youth. Yeah.
Who I would have thought would have won this tournament, but for some reason I was overruled.
For whatever reason, Mike TV was in. If the face of a vampire was Mike TV, I would have voted for him.
but so he's like, oh, man, the mic is it's real windy out here. If only I had like an SM58, a microphone. And I was like, oh yeah, I got one in my car, and I just went out and got him a microphone. So like, I didn't have equipment and stuff, so it would not be crazy for me to have like tech stuff with me, you know. Other than that, yeah, phone, keys, wallet is the big thing.
Let me just end this particular question by reading a big babby in the chat rooms list: 5 through 1, 5 insulin, 4 right sock, 3 left sock, 2 phone, and 1 ass pennies.
Oh, God damn it. God damn it.
What are
Yeah, you would.
Just Google it.
We'll
Google
find
it.
out.
Go on YouTube. Go on YouTube.
I will
We'll
not.
find out in the after
Go on
show.
YouTube.
I
That's
guess
the
so.
end of the show.
If you
Ass
have,
pennies.
Who's the bit boss?
if you have an email you'd like us to send in for this part of the show, mail MAIL at nightattack.tv is the email address we'll read at the end of the show, which is what this is.
Yeah, who's the current bit boss?
The Bit Boss with 23,501 bits. It's Jordan DeMar.
Huzzah!
Thank you so much,
By
Jordan.
the way, these two, Jordan DeMoss and Scoop of Faith, both like just haymakers they traded about 30 minutes before the show started. So thank you guys for being here and being here early. A big shout out to everybody who is here live in the chat. Brian, what did we learn today?
Man, we learned that where Godzilla is the best? Question mark?
We learned that every Cthulhu story is boring.
We learned that, man, we appreciate every single one of you, and that's why we make sure to tell a customized 1-minute story that is authentic and includes every one of you.
We learned that Bonnie will be played by Charlize Theron, who will be way closer to 2 Days in the Valley than Monster.
And most importantly, we learned that we love you guys, and we will see you next Tuesday or tomorrow, because we do this every day now.
Diet of Fire.
I'm allergic to bees. Oh, Justin Robert Young, every time you go, I get so sad that I wanna drink a warm glass of Drano. Night attack, night attack, night attack, night attack, night attack, night attack. I love you.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.